it's Noreen, Atticus9799, and today I would like to share with you a strawberry rhubarb crisp. And the reason that we're having strawberry rhubarb crisp is because last Sunday I made 42, yes, count them, 42 jars of jam. And Rick's going to show you right now. I did 3 different kinds. I did straight strawberry, strawberry pineapple, and strawberry rhubarb. And I did those a week ago, and I had an entire flat of strawberries left over, so I needed to find something to do with them. We've been eating them out of hand this week. We made strawberry smoothies for breakfast this morning. I cut some up for shortcake, and now we're going to use some in a crisp. I also had some leftover rhubarb, and we're going to go ahead and use that as well. So come on over, and I'll show you what goes into this. First thing is I have 4 cups of strawberries. This is about, I would say, about a quart. Maybe a quart and a pint. I just quartered those. You don't want to slice them because they'll be too thin and they'll turn to mush. This is about 3.5 to 4 cups of rhubarb. And I'm going to use a cup of sugar. I'm also going to use a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. And I am going to use a splash of orange juice in here. To make the topping, we're going to use a stick of butter that I have cubed, a cup of, I'm using whole white wheat flour, a cup of oats, these are old-fashioned oats, a cup of packed brown sugar, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to mix the rhubarb and the strawberries together, and then I'm also going to put the sugar in here. No sense wasting a bowl. I'm going to also go ahead and toss in this cornstarch. Now the cornstarch is going to help that really thicken up nicely as it's baking, and all those bubbly juices are going to thicken up just like a lovely filling. And we're just going to go ahead and stir this up so it's well blended. And you're going to need that sugar because this rhubarb is tart. And I want to give a shout out to Yankee Prepper and his daughter there and his wife, Mrs. Prepper. Last week I watched them make an amazing looking rhubarb pie. Now this is really my first experience with rhubarb. Never really had it before. I made the jam and really I have no objection to it. It's really kind of delicious. I have a giant rhubarb plant growing out in my garden. And I've recently found out from a local gardener, you're not supposed to be able to grow it here, but it's growing in my yard, so it seems to be happy. All right, everybody, you need to get back in there. All right, so there's our fruit filling. And now we'll move on to our topping. It's super simple. I'll put our oats, our flour, our brown sugar, salt. Let's give this a toss. Like that. And then let's just toss in our butter cubes and break them up in there. And you can use a pastry blender if you want to. I don't necessarily think you have to. If you don't have one, please, don't freak out. I'm going to grab mine, and then I'm going to start taking care of this. I'm just going to toss these in here, and then we're going to go for it. Let me grab my pastry blender. Okay, after a brief interlude to find the pastry blender, guess where I found it? Where it belonged. That ever happened to you? Okay, I'm just going to blend the butter in with the flour and the oat and the brown sugar here. And this is going to take a few minutes. You'll want it so that it looks like small peas when you're done. It'll be perfect. Just like this. And you'll want to stop every so often and get it out of your pastry blender. Now the alternative to this, if you don't have a pastry blender, is to do it with your hands. You can just do this. And this works too. The warmth of your hand actually facilitates a more quicker incorporation. So it's up to you. Hands are better than most tools. They're the best tools you have, in fact. And you can kind of do this. If I had a larger bowl, it would be better, but you know, what's going to happen is when this bakes, the butter and the sugar that's in here and the flours, they're going to turn into those nice crispy nuggets that go on top of an apple crisp or any kind of fruit crisp that you like. We're almost there. When you can see that it's kind of incorporated very well, and when you take a little bit and do this, and it sticks together but still falls apart a little, that is perfect topping. All right, so let's bring our pan of crisp over here and just start to sprinkle. This is super easy. Like I said, I used strawberries with mine that were going a little south. This is an excellent recipe to use if you have some fruit that you don't want to waste. You want to be frugal. Things are expensive now. My goodness, we're paying almost $4 a pound for apples sometimes. Right now, strawberries are in season, and so is rhubarb. They're relatively inexpensive. And if they come out of your garden, even better. So, there we have it. Our crisp is ready. I'm going to put this in a 325-degree oven, and I am going to check it in about 30 minutes. This should not take long because the strawberry is very soft. If you were doing apple, blueberry, you know, if you're doing apple, you're going to let it go a bit longer. But let's put this, first I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on top of a baking sheet. Let me grab one. And I'm going to put some parchment on it because there is a possibility this may bubble over. Let's put this in our preheated oven. Okay, go take a nice warm nap. I'll be back in about 30 minutes and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, it has been about 45 minutes and look at this. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? Hot strawberry rhubarb crisp, fresh out of the oven. Now it's going to have to cool just a little while, and then we're going to fix you a plate. I'm going to make you a plate. I hope that you like vanilla ice cream on top of that, because I think it would be a crime to serve it without vanilla ice cream. So we'll be back in just a little while so that you won't burn your tongue. Okay, everybody, it's time for dessert. I hope you love it. Here we go. Here's that lovely strawberry rhubarb crisp with a scoop of vanilla ice cream, and just to gild the lily ever so slightly, a little dollop of whipped cream as well. I sure do hope you try this, and I hope you enjoy it. Go to your farmer's market, pick up some fresh strawberries, and pick up some rhubarb also, because they're in season together. That's why they go so well together. So I hope you try it, and I hope you like it. Until next time, see ya!